Hi guys, back again with another video, and this time it's finally completed. It's the interview with Pete Langston and Jim Mahoney of HushHush Media. I've been waiting such a long time to get these two guys and speak to them, and I couldn't have wished for it to go better. And without further ado, really, you have to hear it. It's one to definitely catch, and just feeling really happy and excited, and hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did. So thank you to Pete and Jim. Here we go. Hi guys, thank you for agreeing to come on Ripping It Up with Jamie. I'm really nervous but really excited. I've been waiting for ages to talk to both of you, so thank you.
No worries.
How are you doing?
Good, great to be here. How are you?
Nervous, but I'm all right, you know. I've got loads to ask you, and obviously I'll speak to you a little bit more anyway though, Pete, but Jim, it's been years probably now, hasn't it? Yeah, I think, probably 2019 I last spoke to you. So anyway, what I was, it's just so much stuff. I've seen the majority of the stuff that you've done on YouTube and everything, but I'm kind of wanting to focus on just a few things that I particularly admire, and also I wanted to give that to you as well to discuss stuff that was your favourite stuff as well. And I just think it's really, more people need to check out your stuff, because it's just it has everything. It's so funny.
Probably get us cancelled if people did see it. But
Yeah, we were almost sued once.
You'd get cancelled? Really?
Yeah.
Right, but I'll tell you what then, I'm going to start with, obviously the first one that I ever saw that got me kind of like wanting to watch more was Which Has Come to Launceston. What was going on? Well, tell me a bit more about it.
The only way it came about was like, have you seen, what's it called, LA Confidential? Like, the opening scene in that is, like, Danny DeVito doing a voiceover, loads of black and white footage of, like, come to California, and it talks about his, like, economic climate and the film scene and how wonderful it is, and then it sort of slides into, like, the crime underbelly and how he's got his HushHush magazine and all that kind of stuff. And it only goes on for, like, a minute or something like that, but I watched that, and I was just like, I love LA Confidential. It was one of my favourite films, but I watched it around that time, and I was just like, let's do that for Launceston. And I just phoned Pete one morning and was like, let's do a quick one. Because it was only like a day of filming and then a day of editing, and then it was done. Not much effort was put into it.
It actually got to the stage as well. I think Pete was quite surprised, weren't you, when I could actually quote you, because I'd watched it so many times, it made me laugh. I was like, steppity step.
Yeah, I think most people tend to quote it more than we do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a shellfish.
I do get, why not round off your evening at the Angels Bar? I used to get that one a lot.
Oh, well, anyway, I started off with that, and honestly, I thought, well, let's go from there. And then I think it was Mahoney was the next one. And I must say, I've got to get this in here, that my partner told me, does this guy know that, I've got it written down, what's his bloody name? That's it. Does this guy know he looks like Paul Tuttle Sr. from American Chopper?
Who?
I've never seen American Chopper.
Well, look it up, and I told you, she showed me a picture, and it was like, yeah, I can see what you mean now. So Pete will add it in the visuals, I'm sure, because
we're looking it up now. What was it called? American Chopper.
His name's Paul Tuttle Sr.
Paul Tuttle Sr. Okay.
You're looking it up, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah! See, I can see it from the Tash. Yeah.
He looks like if John Carpenter got really butch. And Hulk Hogan had a baby with them.
That is a majestic moustache that man has.
Anyway, what I wanted to say as well, but you know, the whole Mahoney video, I love that kind of the style, you know, the music and everything, and you know, he killed my partner and that, and what did it take to put all that together and everything? I mean, obviously, is it the same kind of driving force behind it with these like LA Confidential and things like that?
No, that was more just shoddy 80s and 70s cop films.
And the trailers that we'd watch.
Yeah.
Like you'd go into a video rental store at the weekend and...
Yes.
Well, when we were growing up, there was a place in Launceston called Hollywood Nights. And if you rented a modern film, that would cost like £2.50, and then you get one from the old section, like the 99p bit, for free. So we'd always get like a good like recent film, and then you get one from the 80s toss section, and you never knew what you were getting, and you would see a lot of shit in there. So, but a lot of it was hilarious. Like we used to go and rent like films that just looked awful.
Yeah.
So
And similar to PlayStation
absolute
Centre
gems.
yeah.
as well. But yeah, I think we got Ghoulies and just wrecked the tape.
Oh,
and
we
stuff
did
like
actually
that.
destroy that before we gave it back.
And now I know the people that made that film. So I've got to make an apology there. Making amends.
I mean, as it like film fans and everything, and I must say, Jim, I love everything that you've been in the HushHush media. You act it so well. Literally just before I called you, I just refreshed myself on which one was it? Whisper, and I just love the way it's shot, and I love the way you act these things. Have you been drama school in that then?
No.
Or is it just no?
It's literally just like I'm someone that like things are only funny if you actually do it, and like I just like making a bell end out of myself at the end of the day. But it's like even serious acting, I think, is funny, and it's just got to enjoy making a twat out of yourself. Really, that's however I think about it. Anyway,
I love that kind of thing. Anyway, I mean, and it says a lot about somebody when you're not bothered about making a bit of a twat of yourself because it just comes out so well and everything. And when you're too concerned about like what other people and all this image stuff and everything, to me that just screams like fucking hell. You want large fries with that ego, and I don't get that from you guys. It's just like put it out there, it's funny and it just works really, really well. And,
actually, the funny thing about like Mahoney is like with everyone's like acting in that, the whole point of it was because it's meant to be like a shoddy 80s like action film where the acting's meant to be terrible. If people try to act terribly, it doesn't work because it just seems a bit hammy. So like the direction that I was actually like giving like everyone was like, try your best because none of us are decent actors. So if we try our best, it looks awful because we're all just shit. So
yeah, in fact, I played mine completely straight. Like he was the straight guy in the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't camped up at all. But when you put it in the right context, it becomes hilarious.
That scene, Pete, though, where he's fighting and you've got that blonde wig on.
Oh, that was such a great day of filming it as well. That was freaking hilarious. He was just I don't think you actually hear him speak in the Russian accent, but we filmed so much of that, and he was just riffing the whole way down to that warehouse where we shot it. And we were just the entire walk down. We were both dressed like idiots. And Pete was just riffing in Russian, just like saying loads of dumb lines, like just preparing for it.
And for some reason, I put on blue latex gloves, which had no reason. And Jim kept saying, "What are they for?" But that's where you get my amazing acting skills in footwork.
Well, one thing I did notice about Launceston, obviously because I've lived there myself for a while, is you put these videos together. It comes to Launceston, but then you've got Tequila Equals Tears, and then you've got Tequila Equals Tears, and then that milk one as well, where you blatantly there's somebody like behind the camera and you're doing what you do, and not one person it seems to bat an eyelid and like look at you.
No, well, that's the joy of Launceston. You can actually like get away with anything here because I know if they see you with a camera, they probably just think, oh, that's for something. Like they probably think like the council are doing something. But
you think someone see you in a clown costume and that and think, oh yeah, it's probably the council.
I actually have no idea, but no one did react to that. Well, we did have some people come up to us later on in the day when we weren't filming. Like some drunk people had a go at us because like their kid was terrified of a clown, and they were just like drunk, and they were just like having a go at us, and we're just like,
get a grip, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it was just like, hang on, you're drunk and you're having a go at us. We're just pretending to be drunk. It's just like...
Well, the thing is as well, I mean, how long ago was that? It must have been quite a few years ago, because things are even worse now, because, I mean, people get sand in the crack about anything, don't they? You've got to be so careful, and it's ridiculous. You're going to trigger someone somewhere along the way. Yeah, because wasn't there a scene in Come to Lawson that you had to remove because you nearly got sued or something?
Oh, I wasn't really like sued. It was one of my brother's friends. Like there's
grandmother.
Yeah, it was her grandmother, and it was basically just like, I didn't know who the person was, but it was just like an off the cuff, trying to be funny remark I said about this woman, and not even the I don't even know if the grand saw it, but the granddaughter of this person like just politely complained to us because they were just like, I don't appreciate that because that's my grand, and we were just like, oh, okay.
So he issued the apology and everything. But actually, the town council were talking about suing us for defamation of character.
Wow.
The defamation of Lawson, Jesus.
Well, I would say it surprised me. Nothing surprises me these days, you know.
Well, it was decided in the end that actually if it went ahead, they would get too much attention, or our video would get way too much attention. And
well, I was actually more concerned about the screen that you put up in its place.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole point. It's just like, oh right, you know, someone gets annoyed for insulting one person, so the kind of joke was, let's insult a race, but not insult, but you know, it's a joke.
You know, it's like when you just think, all right, let's open that can of worms.
Yeah, well, that was a good thing because we sort of said it in a 50s time.
Yeah.
So you could get away with showing something that could be deemed as completely inappropriate now.
And no one complained about it. That's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
It's just like no one complained about that.
Because, I mean, and I know I'll probably have people come back at me for this and everything, but I do get a bit fed up with this whole thing with how sensitive people get, because racism in itself is like malicious and hateful, and when you're deliberately being hateful towards specific culture or race or anything, but banter and that, where's that all gone? You know, where we have a bit of banter and everything, and it's not meant in an offensive way, and I just don't call that racism at all, and I never will.
Well, if anything, it's actually poking fun at racism, because it, like Pete said, it's like it's of that time, and that's something that people shouldn't ignore or hide or anything like that, because it's just like racism was just more acceptable back then.
Yeah, it's like the BBC's idea of covering up an awful lot more of their risque people and characters and shows.
Oh God, yeah, there's so much can't be shown now. And I mean, Little Britain's been cancelled, hasn't it? Loads of stuff it can't. It's ridiculous. But...
I mean, when Vic and Bob,
yeah,
there's bits where they were like, you know, blacked up and stuff for certain comedy sketches and whatnot, and it's just like, would anyone accuse of Vic and Bob being like maliciously racist? It's just like, no, they're having fun.
Never mind that. I'm surprised the Irish or something aren't more pissed off with them for Mulligan and O'Hare.
Oh yeah.
My rose has left me.
Oh, Pete, yeah, we've got to have it. We've got to have a bit of Mulligan and O'Hare in the visuals for this, you know. This is. But anyway, also I'm gonna talk now about Visitor.
Oh yeah.
I really, really like it, but can you I get a bit lost with. I just need to know like what's behind that and everything, because obviously just watching it, I'm easily confused.
It's pretentious nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, is that all it is? Oh, fair enough.
No, it's not.
Well, I think I wanted to do something a bit experimental, And
Really good. I mean, the ending was just wow. You know, it all of a sudden went mental, and yeah, I really like the visuals in that. Amazing. I really like that one in particular. But what's behind the door?
the door.
Is that the one where he's like trying to where the person on the phone is like, "Let me in," that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then it looks like you're listening at a door. Oh no, that's Whisper, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's up against the
kind
bedroom
of similar,
door.
those two. I found that, you know, like the way it looks, the look of him, it's a bit similar, isn't it?
Yeah, they're sort of like an unofficial trilogy of the third one we haven't done yet.
Yeah. Because the one in particular, I don't think it is Visitors, where Jim is it seems like you're really scared of something, and like you're looking out for something, and then you see like yourself, but you've got like a real horrible demonic like face and that. So
yeah, that was at the end of Whisper.
Yeah. What's the story behind that one, guys? Who's behind the door?
Honestly, no idea.
Probably his subconscious or something pretentious.
Oh, fair enough.
I quite like pretentious, so yeah, I'm more inclined to make the pretentious films, and together we make the twaddly funny films.
Yeah, I'm always up for doing something pretentious though, because it's just like, I don't know, like what you're saying about the acting. I like putting myself out of my comfort zone and doing something like just doing something where it's like, well, like I said earlier, it's just like I think it's funny to make a twat of myself, so it's just like doing something like uber serious is hilarious to me.
You do a good job of it, Tim. You do a really good job of it, babe, I must admit. But
it's a very subtle performance.
Yeah.
I must say, with a lot of nuances and layers.
I do find though that sometimes I feel like I'm in a bloody episode of Twin Peaks or something.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Well, we're both like very much influenced by David Lynch, so like, we're both massive fans of David Lynch.
Yeah, David Lynch. I love that stuff as well. But you have to, with that, it's you look away from the screen for like 1 second, and then you don't get the whole rest of the film or the show. It's like you miss something, and then I have to put it back and watch it again.
I think if you watch Inland Empire, you don't have to miss anything for it to just be nonsense.
Well, yeah, I must. There is some, which makes me want to now move on to like pudding. Because, well, what can I say about that? It's it was been mentioned that it's got a bit of a salad fingersy thing to it.
Yeah, again, we're both David Firth fans, so like anything that's slightly quirky and disturbing, but innocent at the same time. That's quite.
Yeah,
cool.
you gotta have that like child, like it starts off as a kids' TV show, but then it's like.
You know, isn't it? And when you say it goes dark, it goes proper, where you're like, what the actual fuck?
A lot of people have said that about the episode 2.
Yes.
Yeah, you got the guy, haven't you? And he's sat, but the ending is like, what am I supposed to be like thinking here? Am I thinking that am I? And so I'm going to put that over to both of you, is to like. Put not my mind at rest, but tell me, am I right? What is it?
What, is he like a kiddie fiddling child murderer?
I was more concerned about the whole like what was inserted into him and what.
Well, he's making the ice cream.
Yeah. He's just become ice cream. So, and he wants to look after the children. And in fact, I think the children are more scared than he is. Like, he doesn't mean to be scary. He just so happens to want to become ice cream.
Yeah, it was. I mean, my partner Erin was here like last night when we were watching some of them again, and that was one that was on, and she's like, what am I watching?
Well, admittedly, I think Jim came over. I messaged you, didn't I? And said, Jim, I think I've done something.
Yeah.
Because I was editing the first one, and it was taking ages because I'd never done lip sync before for animation. And and then I just wanted to try some kind of traditionally drawn stuff, so went for that, and just did it in a couple of hours. So I mean, obviously you can tell that, but I kind of like the style of it.
Well, you have got some the animation stuff that you do as well. You've got a bit of everything, you know, with the HushHush Media stuff. It's like you've got some horror stuff, it's some stuff funny. There's a lot. I love the piss taking stuff in your style as well. It's like that's why I like it as well, because it's a bit. It's like if you're not, I've got that attitude. Like if you're offended by it, fuck off. You know, no one's forcing you to watch whatever. I find it funny, and I'm putting out there what I find funny. Take it or don't, you know. And that I like that, because your stuff doesn't come across as like it's pussyfooting around anybody or.
Well, it's about intention. Like any kind of joke, it's all about intention. It's like we don't intend to hurt anyone's feelings. It's like you can go dark without malicious intention.
Yeah, it tends not to be directed at anybody in particular.
Everything.
Yeah, it's not directed to hurt people. And in fact, it's made only for us anyway. It's just so happens that if anybody else watches it, that's cool. But selfishly, it's how we started as kids, just to make silly little films for ourselves after we were a bit wasted, and so we're still doing the same kind of stuff, just with.
I will say to people that are listening that if you check out the YouTube channel for these guys, there is actually quite a lengthy piece that does show a lot of the vids that you made as young'uns, and so you can kind of see that these guys you've just been making stuff and for years, haven't you? So, and I want to talk about the award. Can you kind of touch on that you were actually nominated, were you not, for an award?
That wasn't really an award. It was just like
the Channel 4 thing. Yeah.
Don't play it down.
No, it was just like a competition to make, to advertise, not advertise, but sort of show people that you can get some kind of grant for insulation. It's like it's the dullest topic ever, and of course we're just going to take the piss out of it, and that's all we did. Yeah. And even the documentary itself is a piss take out of the situation of actually being nominated with. But I think they knew that we were like the comedy relief there, if you know what I mean, because all the other pieces that were there were very serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say this and to be mean or anything like that, but I can't take to talking to people about their work or when it seems like people are really up their own arse about stuff, because I feel, and I think I've discussed this with someone else, that this particular podcast, I'm not a real geek. I'm not someone that could, reel off directors and, who was like, the boy number 16 stood next to the trash can at the film this film was made in 1981 or something. I just don't know that kind of stuff, but I know what I like, I know what I don't like, and I love discussing with people and talking to people, especially when you can come away from a conversation and not feel like you're stupid.
I'm exactly the same with like computer games. I'm not mega geeky with it and all that, and I'm really not into like modern games. But like the lady that I'm seeing at the minute, she's really sort of made me realise like how much I love like old school vintage, what is now vintage, like Mega Drive and SNES games and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and it's just like I'm well into it, but I'm not like a full-on mega geek that's going to know everything about it.
And the perfect thing as well was me just not that long ago getting the episode wrong for a certain scene. It was like, oh no, it wasn't from Visitor, it was from Whisper, and but I didn't mind that.
How dare you?
How very dare you?
It's like you don't know us. Do you not know how important we are?
Now I want Leonard.
You ass.
You promised me Leonard, right?
I honestly couldn't. I haven't done that for years. So I honestly couldn't even think of the voice even.
Well, the first one, oh my days, about the towel being stuck in his being stuck in his arse.
Well, it's really cool because Jim just wrote all of these things. I think I gave you the Aleister Crowley
Oh, we were talking about him loads, and yeah, it just came about from like reading about Aleister Crowley, and it's just a whole just fucking mishmash of just. And I'm a massive fan of Phone Jacker as well, so it's just fun to like. It's almost like a radio skit, if you know what I mean, where it's just like it's just a brief scene of something where you don't need the visuals, but they just kind of help.
Some of the stuff though that you come out with, I just like, I can't believe. It's like, where the fuck do you get it from? And I've actually got something here as well.
Stop it, that.
I've got like, keep your fucking mouth shut when your bush tucker man steps on a landmine.
Oh, right, that one, right? I'm not even joking. That's from the second one. I literally wrote that. I didn't even write it. I came up with it in the shower that morning. I was just talking to myself as Leonard in the shower, and then I just phoned Pete up and was just like, Pete, I got another one, and then I just went up there, waffled it off, and then I just left, and then Pete put the visuals to it. That's how we made that one.
That's how we've done a lot of our stuff. So Jim just comes up with like a notepad.
His accent though, Leonard's. It's just the whole. Who does he remind me of? He reminds me of, you know, the guy that does, oh, I'm afraid I can't remember because I was very, very drunk at the time.
Oh, no, do you know, it's more actually, what's his name? You know, Bo Selector, like the Marilyn Manson that's on Bo Selector. It's more that.
Yeah. And I think I quite like, I don't know if it's something that you thought of, but in Little Britain, there's that old actor chap, and it talks exactly like that.
Oh shit! I know who you're on about, but I didn't think about that.
It just looks after his old sister, but his old sister's been dead, and he's just stealing her food.
I mean, I've got, you know, in the first one with the towel, I love like at the end of the conversation. Did the guy that you rang, was he in on it? Because half of me was thinking that
Pete.
he knew. That was you on the phone?
Yeah. Pete's the ambulance driver or the medic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I didn't think you'd ring 999. But, you know, when he came off the phone and, like, you'd hear Leonard go, oh, you condescending shit. It's funny as, honestly, I really, absolutely. and the making Satan wait as well is, who's the old guy on the phone? Is he just some random or something? Or?
That was supposed to be Aleister Crowley.
Not Aleister Crowley, the other one, the guy that gets Aleister Crowley.
Oh no, that's actually like
It's like Igor assistant.
Oh, that one, yeah.
And who's speaking, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's amazing as well. It was like you want me to ask him to wait? Lucifer, Beelzebub.
Prince of Darkness.
I actually had to like Google all those names. I was like, how many names has Satan got? How many? So I Googled them and just wrote down the best ones.
The Unclean.
Yeah, that's one that I really liked, actually.
Yeah.
The Unclean.
I think I was talking to Erin the other night about something regarding like the Prince of Darkness and that, and how you just can't take Ozzy Osbourne seriously, can you? When he's like, I'm the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah. Anyone with a Brummy accent you can't take seriously.
Oh dear. Yeah, Healer Equals Tears. I like that. I've watched that quite a few times and everything, and I want to know what that whole thing was like, filming it and everything. To be honest,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
literally
just
like
you were beaten up by a lot of people, weren't you? You was thrown out of just about every pub in London.
Oh, we weren't actually thrown out. It was just me being it was just making it. If you go out in town on a Saturday, most of the pubs are empty, so it's just like we just walk in and go, it's all right if we just film in here quickly whilst it's empty, sort of thing.
Yeah,
so
everyone's been quite lovely with letting us film, like particularly back then, letting us film in pubs, or we just pop in and go, we're filming.
Yeah, no, just like, yeah, go on then.
Yeah, it's like, were you actually really, really drunk? You know, because it seemed like, there were loads of alcohol and everything, but like, were you actually that pissed?
I wasn't that pissed, but because we bought all the booze, we did actually go and buy vodka, but I didn't neck it. in the street. We actually did empty it into something else, and then I just necked some water. But because we bought all the booze to make it look like we were drinking all the booze, along the way we did drink some, but we weren't hammered or anything like that, but we did drink the booze. You're going to buy it, you're going to drink
the puke
it.
thing then? But was that milk, the puke? Then?
Yeah.
Strawberry milkshake.
Yeah, so I just loved it. I mean, was that your family, Pete, where he goes to the party and he's like entertaining the kids and everything? What does he end up doing? Smacking them?
Oh no, that was Leslie. Leslie's like a lady that I worked with, and her one of her kids was really into drama, and so just like and it's one of those things where it's very sort of like touchy subject to when you're like making a really stupid film. To go to some people and go, we want to do a bit where there's like a birthday party, but it's kind of hard like rounding up children when you're just, when you're just mucking about making a film. And it's like, and I want to like smoke and drink in front of them and all that kind of, and like be as rude as possible for the sake of a film. But Leslie that I worked with, she's freaking awesome. And she's got a great sense of humour. Her kids are great and all that kind of stuff, but they're grown up now. Those kids as well. They're like one of them's like 20, one's like must be getting on 18.
That short though. That one really, when you put aside all the funny stuff and what's there on the surface, and you can laugh at like the whole, what's going on in front of your face, but then the more you watch it, then you really do realise that that's actually a really, really sad piece of film. And if you look past like all that clowning around and everything, it's like really sad.
Yeah, it's kind of meant to be really at the end of the day, because like it's one of those things like when you art at the end of the day is like expression. Sometimes you don't know what you're expressing at the time, and but essentially when I was growing up, my dad was a bit of a sort of like violent alcoholic, and it was only when I finished the film and like. Or when we finished the film, when we were like watching it back, I was like, "Oh shit, this is like about my dad." But I didn't realize that when I actually like wrote it.
Wow. So that's amazing, because that just came straight from you, didn't it? So it's obviously like it triggered something with it, and that's amazing because it is quite deep, and it's not like all that what it seems if you were just watching it flippantly. It's like really, really watch it, and then it hits you just what that's all about, really.
I think we were filming it in sequence, so it was pretty linear, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, I think, if I remember rightly, we were getting we felt quite sorry for the clown towards the end.
Yeah, because we just beaten him up all day, so it was just like... And I was genuinely tired and beaten up at the end of the day, so I had so many bruises all over my hips.
You fell over a lot, didn't you, really? And you were like in the middle of roads and like...
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
but I'm a big fan of Jackass as well, so to do that sort of thing is just hilarious to me, to actually just go, well, you're dressed as a clown, you just will go and act like one, so...
One of the shorts that I've watched, I've always been like intrigued by, as in it brings up just one question for me, which is like, why? And that's milk. It's like...
Do you know what? Right, here's the direct answer. I went to a festival in Spain and called Sonar Festival, and it's in like a the daytime part of the festival is in the like gallery or like the art place in the center of Barcelona. And it's got music and all that kind of stuff, and it's a wicked festival. But during the in amongst all the art installations and all that kind of stuff, there was this one bit that I saw where it was like a video clip, and it was obviously it's in Mexico, so you can get away with a lot more. But it's just a guy who filmed himself. He just like gets a gun and just does like a walk around the square in some, I think it's in Mexico City or something like that. But he just walks around the block with a gun in his hand and films people's reactions. And he's not like looking angry or running or trying to make it look dangerous. He's just casually walking around with a gun in his hand and sort of filming people's reactions. And it was just quite pretentious, really. It was just like, all right, you're just frightening people for this. I thought it was just like, I didn't particularly like it. And I I do think a lot of art is quite pretentious, like that. So I was just like, yeah, I just wanted to like make a film about getting some milk and just following someone around the block and getting some milk.
And it's the music there as well. There was like this brilliant like orchestral music going on.
Yeah, it's free. The rights have lapsed, so it's free.
He hasn't produced anything lately.
Right at the end, that classic that it was like, right at the end.
Yeah.
Loving it. And it's so basic yet so good. I'm sorry.
Well, years ago, I'd made a film with a friend, and it was about this pretentious director. He'd made a film called The Walking Man.
Yeah, Walking Man.
Yeah, and it was just that's hilariously pretentious guy, but actually I quite like filming people walking in everything that I've done. So, but this was completely Jim's idea.
And also, like at the beginning of what is it? There's one of our kids' films that we did. It's the one where we kill the parents.
Yeah.
And it's just like at the beginning of that, there's like a really long walking scene. But the thing is, it's really good to film. I don't know what it is. It's enjoyable to film people walking. Like, what's his name? Nicholas Winding Refn. He always does like scenes where he films people like from behind. And so does what's his name? Dude who did Elephant.
Gus Van Sant.
Yeah, Gus Van Sant. He often does like bits where it's like someone walking and he's just following them. Like you just see someone going about their daily business.
It's a big Kubrick thing as well.
Yeah. But I enjoy that sort of thing where it's kind of like day-to-day life and you're just kind of like walking into someone else's shoes for a bit. And then obviously as a filmmaker you bring something else into that.
And actually I'm trying to remember, did we do it in one take? Or was it almost one take?
Which one's that?
Milk.
Oh, that was one take, yeah. That was just one take. So that if it had cocked up, we just would have had to have done it again. Probably another day, because it was raining outside. But we filmed that one and Visitor, I think. I think we filmed both of those on the same day.
Yeah, I think we did.
I think my question to that being, because I know Launceston, is why didn't you go to the co-op? Why did you go to
because Pete's banned. Yeah. Pete can't go in the co-op.
You're still banned.
Yes. Shoplifting, alcohol.
Bless you. Well, oh my days. Well, boom, that's told me.
Don't recommend it, children.
Well, what I want to do, if it's okay with you, I'm going to wrap it up. But I've enjoyed this chat so much, and I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day and to do this with me, because I've wanted to talk to you guys for so long. And if you're okay, I mean, there's so much more. To anyone that's listening, there's so much more on the site that I'd like to go into it more and look at some of the other stuff a little bit more in depth as well. If you'd be happy to do that, then we could talk about that, because I just want to do it justice. Like I've said to, other people that I've chatted to, I would love to just do it justice and not just skim, because it's good stuff. And I think it's underrated. More people need to check it out because it's hilarious. But bless you for taking the time to talk to me. And is there anything that you want to add? Is there anything, are you going to be working on anything else, do you think?
I've definitely had the itch to do something recently, and I've got a couple of ideas, so hopefully we might do something soon. I kind of want to do a horror type thing, and Pete's always into horror, so...
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I'm doing a documentary and some music videos, but there's also a piece that Jim sent me that I'm going to animate.
Yeah.
So...
Well, that'd be brilliant, though. Actually, if you guys are doing something new and everything, I would absolutely be blessed if you would come on ripping it up again, and I could look at those. Brilliant, I'd love that. So, and the fact you're getting back into it and doing some more stuff. So, but anybody that hasn't seen all the other stuff, watch it. That's all I've got to say. And I will. You guys are just as mad in person as what you are on the air, because I've had personal experience of that. So, yeah, but bless you, and I'm going to leave it there. So
no worries. Thank you very much.
Guys.
Cheers.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hi guys, and if you made it till the end, then thank you. You're obviously enjoying what Ripping It with Jamie is achieving so far. I, for one, still in its infancy, but I'm so happy and so lucky to have had the people that have spoken to me so far and been on the podcast. And what an amazing time today with the lovely Pete and Jim, and I'm glad you liked it. I've been waiting so long to talk to these two guys. Also fortunate enough to have met them in person as well when I lived in Cornwall for a short while, and they are every bit as mad, every bit as wonderfully weird as they come across. And I can say from personal experience, they're just as genuine, the loveliest, genuinest people that you could meet, and talented, such a talent. And I've always been a fan of their work since I met Pete years ago. It's been lovely to share it with you, and check out their channel. There's so much more than what I've covered, so much more. So link will be in the description. Check out HushHush Media, because it has everything. And as for my content and everything, bless you all, and next episode will be up as soon as I can get it made and everything, but it'll be worth it hopefully. And yeah, in fact it will. Come back, watch the next one, and love you all so much. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, will you? Bye.